Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you've not seen my videos before, I'm Bex, I'm mum to Finley, and I make videos about parenting, infertility and lifestyle, and I upload every Monday. So this week I've decided to do a video on the top 10 tips to dress your Christmas tree like a pro. I enter a global competition every year for Christmas tree decorating, and the furthest I've got so far is 4th, which I don't think is bad considering it's a world Christmas tree decorating competition. So without further ado, let's get started. So tip number 1 is to measure up. You'll need to measure the height, width and depth of the space that your tree is going to go in. And I tend to buy my Christmas tree a little bit bigger than the space and then cut it down to fit the size, just because I like a ceiling scraping sort of Christmas tree. And tip number 2 is all about the prep. If you have a real tree, if you buy from anywhere other than a Christmas tree farm, I would recommend that you give the tree a few sharp taps on the floor from using the base of the trunk. If any needles fall from the tree, then I would probably not buy that sort of tree, just because you'll find that the needles will drop quite quickly. And if you give another tree a sharp tap and hardly any needles fall, then that's the tree for you. So with a real tree, I tend to buy it and then take it home, leave it in a bucket of cold water in the back garden for at least sort of 6 hours. So I tend to buy the tree early on Saturday morning and then decorate on Sunday. So it just means that by doing that, the tree can get the maximum amount of water before it actually gets in the house. Next sort of tip on prep of real trees would be prune your tree. So it gets the sort of shape that you're looking for. I tend to prune the bottom branches off just because I find that they droop later on, and I like to use those branches to decorate the outside of my house. If you have an artificial tree, then I would spend time prepping the branches. So splay the branches out so the branches look like a hand, and just fluff them out, doing that all over the tree, and that will give you that real full sort of look. Tip number 3 is all about the base. This is a KRINNER Christmas tree stand, and KRINNER is KRINNER, and they are the daddy of all Christmas tree stands. They're very well made and very easy to use and guaranteed for at least 10 years, so should last you for many Christmases to come. They're not cheap, I won't lie, but they are definitely the best Christmas tree bases I've ever used. So what's good about them is that you can put your Christmas tree trunk in there, and then you would use your foot to crank this to tighten it. Like so. Then this little red dot here flicks up, and it's a little indicator to say that you need to water the tree. So you would put water in the reservoir here. And then when you want to release the tree, it's just as easy. You just push this lever upwards, which will make a loud noise. Like that. So in terms of how much they cost, for a tree up to 6 foot, it would use this base, and that's sort of £35 to £40. And then for a tree up to 8 foot, you would use the bigger base, and that's sort of £40 to £50. Like I said, it's not cheap. But if you think of how many years you'll be using it for and how much time you'll be saving yourself without having to sort of fight over getting the tree straight, then I think it's worth the investment. These are available on Amazon as well, so I'll try and link below for you. So tip number 4 is to do with lights. I like warm white static lights, as I feel it gives that sort of luxurious hotel department store feel. They have that proper sort of old-fashioned twinkle about them. Sorry if this is the case for you, but I'm not a fan of flashing fairy lights. Sorry if you use them, it's just that's not the look I tend to go for. I tend to buy these sort of lights, which are the old sort of bulb style rather than the LED ones, when they're on offer. I tend to find them on offer in Wilko, from B&Q and Homebase. And quite a lot of the supermarkets still do the bulb ones, and I just find they have a nicer, warmer glow to them. And I just buy them when they're on buy one get one free. So for a tree that's about 6 foot, you will need 600 lights. It's a lot of lights, but that's what gives it that sort of really good glowy twinkly look. It's the amount of lights that you have per square foot. So I would bank on getting that amount of lights. With that many lights, I find it's really important to be organised with your plugs and your plug sockets. So I tend to have 2 extension leads, and I'll divide the tree vertically. So I'll do half of the tree with some of the sets of lights on one extension lead, and then the other half of the tree on a separate extension lead. Just that way it makes it easier for when you dismantle them later on. I've lost what number I'm up to. Tip number 6 is all about the arrangement of these lights. I don't wrap my lights in a spiral around my tree. It wastes lights at the back of the tree, and you don't get that even dispersal, and it also highlights any sort of uneven gaps that you might have in your tree. So the pro way of doing it is to wrap your lights like an A shape up and down the tree, almost like a zigzag around the tree. And that just means that 1, it's easier to put the lights on and take them off at the end because you're just pulling them off rather than having to unravel them around the tree. And 2, it means that all the lights are dispersed properly around the tree. I tend to like to alternate as well, so some of my A-shape lights will be a bit further to the front of the tree, and then the next row will be pushed in as far as I can. Tip number 7, tools of the trade. You'll want a pair of tongs so that you can tick the lights up by the wires and arrange them high up on your tree so you don't have to stretch. You'll want your gardening gloves to push the lights far inside the tree, and it's this sort of pushing of the lights far into the tree that gives you that real glowy feel around the tree and makes it seem more twinkly, and that is how you get that sort of high-end look. Tip number 8, layer, layer, layer. Layer up different textures, different sizes and different shades of colour if you're going for a specific colour theme. I tend to go for reds, bronzes and then clear and white, and they all tend to be quite quirky or have like a woodland feel. Tip number 9 is checking for gaps. Quite often I will stand back and see if there are any gaps, anything that needs to be filled, if there's too many decorations in one place that need amending or adjusting. I also quite like to halfway through go outside and look from the window inwards and see, does it feel magical yet? Because that really is the aim of the game with the Christmas tree. You want it to be something where people go, oh, looks amazing. Tip number 10, maintenance. If you have a real tree, you need to keep on top of watering it. My stand with the little water indicator makes that really easy, and I just top it up with water whenever the indicator sort of says to do so. And that's one of the reasons why I cut the branches back at the bottom a bit, just to make it easier to get in, because I feel like if it's a real faff for you to get in to water your tree, you're less likely to do it. These are just a couple of bonus tips. As I'm having to baby-proof my tree this year, I could have either used baby gates around the tree, or what I've decided to go for is large cardboard boxes weighted down with books and wrapped in lovely gift paper to make it look like the presents. I'm also going to anchor the tree into place just as an extra safety measure. I'll put a nail into the wall at the back near the top of the tree where it's somewhere that's not visible, and then wrap fishing wire around the top area of the tree and then secure it onto the nail just to make sure it's a final sort of anchor point. Okay, I hope you enjoyed my tips for decorating your Christmas tree like a pro. Let me know if you've got any tips that you'd like to share with me. I'll link to your videos of your Christmas trees, and let me know if any of these tips have been useful to you. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you want to see more Christmas videos from me, and hit the bell as well so that you get notifications that when the videos are up, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye!